Hello and welcome everybody, my name's Aram and this is about the best footage I've got so far from my community. Isak, I think he's a junior rower and he's from Bled, Slovenia. This is where they race and this drone footage is spectacular. I assume you are the most powerful of all of you here. In junior rowing, there's a big difference physiologically speaking. If you see, for example, 14-year-olds, you have actually children, physiologically speaking, children at the age of 14, and then you have grown-up men. They're all the same age. So there are major differences in these age categories. I suppose you guys are around 15, 16, 17, 18, very hard to tell for me right there, maybe a bit older. If you are an accelerated developer, what you do is you work a lot with power. Isak, I think this is what you are doing. What you do is at the catch, you pivot extremely early. Let's go back a bit more. Let's have a look at it. You see this? You really try to feel resistance. You try to, you want to anchor that blade and just power it along. And if you row a lot of linear erg, this will work. On a linear erg, this is actually not a bad recipe because it does create high watts for a short time. The problem here with this technique is that when you open the upper body at the catch already and you push very hard with your legs, I said this in the video, these are more or less contradicting forces. If you open, you use the glutes, and if you push, you use mainly the quadriceps. Now, this is possible to do at the same time. Somebody commented on a video where I said this, working on a bi rower, pretty harshly and said, I had no clue what I was talking about because have you ever watched a deadlift? Yes, buddy. Have you ever sat in a rowing boat? My question back to you. In a rowing boat, you want to have a long drive. It's not like you want to do it all at the same time because you need to extend this thing. So if you use up the upper body first and the legs, you cannot sustain a force curve. The force curves I'm looking for is plateau. Now, how do you want to get a plateau if you peak everything from the start? Impossible. Motion capacity is gone. So you can use them both at the same time. Is it effective? No, because the quadriceps and the glutes, so the front and the back of your legs, are antagonists. And if you use agonist and antagonist both at the same time, you basically evaporate power. Power does work, but only to stabilize. It is not usable for creating motion. Now, I think this is the case with you. Isak, I think you're wasting power. If you took it a bit easy at the catch, just try to position your blades, you could be much more efficient. Not necessarily over the first 500, but I'm pretty sure over the middle 1000. This is where you could actually pull away farther. Now, look at this footage. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's that drone footage, that Lake Bled with that beautiful church over there. If you have never been to Bled, it's a good place to see. It's absolutely beautiful to visit. Now, let's move on a bit and follow you a bit further, Isak. Yeah. What is visible that your blades go pretty deep into the water. So I would say half of your oar is covered. The question is, do you want that up and down travel? I don't think so. Let's move forward a bit. Let's try to get a side shot. There you go. That's a very good side shot. Whoop, here we go. Zip. This is where we can see the problem. So the first problem is, Isak, that your hip, that hip is almost exactly below your shoulders, which means that you bring in the seat too close. Now, you basically have a fully vertically straight upper body, and it's very difficult to push with your feet when your upper body is perfectly straight. So what happens naturally is your hip will point backward. That's the interesting thing is, the closer your seat comes, the more straight up your upper body sits, the more you're prone that your shoulder will fall back and that your seat will actually stop moving, and it's just the shoulder that will rotate around the hip position. And if we follow that stroke, we see that this is exactly what happened. Whoop, 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 whoop. You see this? In the last, just go back a bit. This is the catch. Okay. Now, blade comes in the water, goes deeper and deeper. This is where the rental force would already stop you. You couldn't go further. This is where we'd have full force connection. And as the blades go deeper, because you have to remove or release body weight from your oar handles, your shoulders move up. The seat does not move. Seat doesn't move. Shoulders rotate. Now you start to push, and you basically, with your leg power, you start to bring the blade deeper into the water. So for the first part of the drive, you're not accelerating the boat as much as you could. Now, towards the perpendicular position, you're already in a back lean position, and your legs are not stretched. So basically, you are in the upper body finish position right now, although you're not done with your leg drive. Now, I don't mean to be harsh here, but it's just a fact. This is the technique. And then you basically keep the upper body where it is, and you connect force legs to arms. So you're missing out on that huge pivot momentum. Isak, if you could wait with the upper body, keep it in position, and use that pivot momentum, you would be almost impossible to catch right now. Now, solution, how to solve this. First up, the classic. Let your legs wait until the upper body, and more importantly, the hip is in its forward position. Then, once the hip is forward, make sure you have as little weight as you can on your oar handles. You can have arm and shoulder and elbow weight on your oar handles, but make sure it is not trunk weight. But as your hip is straight or pointing backward, there is no stability, and therefore most people lean onto the oar handles, and usually this is when you're having really bad problems in bad weather, because every wave will still destabilize the entire system. Whoop. And therefore, the further you come forward, the less space you have, because that hip is very close to the heels. Seat to heels is not enough distance, because you were never able to pull that boat. That's another downside. So there's no real control over the boat, you're a passenger. This is why you have to slow down your seat towards the catch. Generally, I don't think you need to slow down your seat towards the catch. If you pull the boat, there's no way you can slow down the seat, because it's not going fast anyway. But that's just a side note. And now we have that shoulder lift again. But I'm pretty sure, Isak, you will solve this problem. You guys are very good coaches in Slovenia, so I have no doubt about this. Okay, good. Guys, that's it for today. Thank you, Isak, for sending this footage. And just watch that. I mean, this is Lake Bled. It's so beautiful. This is the camping ground right there. This is where you can go swimming. And this is the finish line where they have the finish tower just on your left. Beautiful place to be. Yeah, there they have that annual Bled International Regatta in June usually. And you have good competition there. It's a good place to go. Okay, guys. If you want to send me footage, please contact me. Everybody who's subscribed to me, either on Instagram or on YouTube or in the Facebook community group, on the arm training Facebook group, this is where I take your footage, send it to me by WeTransfer, upload it to YouTube. This Isak did that, very simple. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. Wish you a very good day, and I'm looking forward to see you soon. Bye-bye.